Hello, everybody, and welcome to Foxborough, Massachusetts. I'm here with Josh Katzenstein and Jeff Duncan here at Gillette Stadium, where we've just watched the New Orleans Saints have their inter-squad practices against the New England Patriots, and we're here at the stadium. We're going to have a soccer match here between the New England Revolution and the Chicago Fire later tonight, but we wanted to give you some quick observations from the workout today, and I thought all in all, the Saints looked pretty well, especially on offense against that New England Patriots defense. I thought Drew Brees had a great day. What were your thoughts?
Well, even the defense looked pretty good. I mean, I think the Patriots had a case of the dropsies, but beyond that, I mean, we were talking right before we turned on this Facebook Live post that Drew Brees was definitely better today than Tom Brady was. And, I mean, you got to think that, these teams are working on different things. I think the stats would show that Brees was better, but a lot of what the Saints were doing were little dump-off passes. I think for a couple of those team periods, he was really just throwing to running backs primarily. So, I mean, you never want to take too much away from any sort of training camp practice, whether it's, joint practice, whether it's, full pads back in West Virginia. But, yeah, I think it was the Saints acquitted themselves well, especially offensively, and especially, as I just wrote about, Brandon Cooks against Malcolm Butler. Not that we had any doubt that Brandon Cooks was any good, but Malcolm Butler's one of the, up-and-coming corners in the league, and he definitely won that battle today.
Yeah, and that was the highlight, the capping of the two-minute offense where the Saints, led by Brees, went against the Patriots' number one nickel defense and expertly moved the ball down the field, and a lot of that was to Brandon Cooks on Malcolm Butler, who is one of the best corners in the league. I thought another one of the highlights today, which we've read about all camp and heard about, is the young corners have really improved the depth of this secondary. And we saw these guys with Keenan Lewis not being out there, Damon Swann out there. These guys were able to go against some of the top receivers for the Patriots, and I think held up, showed flashes of potential that I think Saints fans could be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. P.J. Williams and Delvin Breaux are still the top cornerbacks for the Saints on the field right now, but Delvin Breaux's dealing with a little injury. He didn't do team drills today, so that elevates P.J. Williams to the top spot. But really, when they're going nickel package, P.J. moves inside, and their top two outside cornerbacks have been undrafted rookies. It's been Kenny Crawley and Devontae Harris, and Harris had an interception today off Jimmy Garoppolo. He had another pass breakup. I think Crawley had a pass breakup. These two guys keep making plays. I mean, it's really crazy to think that nonetheless, one undrafted rookie could make the team. At this point, it looks like there's a decent chance both of them could make it if they keep playing well. And also, I think Larry and I were talking last week that, even if only one of them makes it, they'll try to get the other on practice squad. But if they can transfer what they're doing in practice to these preseason games, you'd think that, there might be some other teams that would like to take a chance on them.
Yeah, no, I think they're definitely in the mix to make the team and certainly be on the practice squad. But the thing that stands out about them, and this was my first practice getting a chance to see them, is they carry themselves with a swagger. This is not too big for them, and that's half the battle when you're a rookie.
Yeah.
Especially an undrafted guy. I mean, you're coming in, odds stacked against you. You can start to think, man, maybe do I belong here? These guys know they belong, and they're making plays right off the bat. Same thing, my first impression of Michael Thomas, the rookie. Now, he's a second-round draft pick, but he carries himself like he belongs already. Those are great signs for young players to be already in your second week of training camp and showing that kind of confidence. So I thought those were good signs for the Saints. I thought their special teams looked good. We remarked Thomas Morstead booming the ball. He's going to have a big year, I think, responding to a little bit of a down year by his standards. But overall, I thought this was a very business-like approach by both teams, not surprising considering the head coach is involved, and you could see the mutual respect on the field of the two sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was only one thing that you would even consider calling a fight. I mean, there was, a couple of young players, one guy from the Saints, one guy from the Patriots, but that broke up after like 20 seconds. There weren't any punches thrown. So, yeah, I mean, everyone went about their business normally. Honestly, besides the fact that you had, two things going on at both fields at the same time, it really just felt like the same practice the Saints have been running back at the Greenbrier. So, and even down to, the defense looking pretty good. But I think, anyone who was worried about Drew Brees throwing 4 interceptions the other day, which you shouldn't have been because it's training camp and no one cares. Someone cares. They care a little bit, but it's not a big deal. But clearly he bounced back today, and that's definitely a good sign.
And the Saints appeared to stay pretty healthy today, and that's always the most important factor in the preseason. So that's going to wrap it up from today, the first day of workouts between the Saints and Patriots. And we'll be back here tomorrow with more updates throughout the day. So make sure you check back with us right here at NOLA.com.